Welcome to the 76th Annual Commencement Ceremony at Eastern Wyoming College. We are excited that you are here to recognize the class of 2025. Before we begin this ceremony, let me remind you to turn off your cell phones and be courteous to those around you by refraining from talking during the ceremony. During the presentation of graduates, we encourage you to express your pride by applauding and cheering. You are free to come down to the front and get a picture of your graduate if you would like to when it gets to that point in the ceremony. We will begin today with the presentation of colors by members of the U.S. Armed Forces, followed by a rendition of the national anthem sung by Ava Mattis and accompanied by Paul Brady. Please stand and remove cover.
Post. Colors. Present. Arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through that night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Recover.
Please be seated. Thank you, Ava. That was beautiful. Just so you know, Miss Ava is a Torrington High School dual and concurrent EWC student. We're very proud of her. I'm Sherry Warren, your Master of Ceremonies, and I'm delighted to be here for this important occasion and glad that all of you, family, friends, faculty, college staff, and especially our newest graduates are here to join us. Today's proceedings honor students who have shown the commitment and perseverance to successfully complete their programs. We at EWC are pleased to have been a part of their lives. These graduates are now ready to move on to the next phase of their journey, be it in the world of work or transferring on to continue their education. It is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker of the day, Dr. Jeffrey Haas, President of Eastern Wyoming College.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Kyrie Rashid, President for Eastern Wyoming College Student Senate, who will give a brief welcome on behalf of our students.
Thank you, Dr. Halls, for the introduction. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to stand here today as your student body president and a proud second-year member of the basketball team. Believe it or not, I never actually chose to be president. It chose me. After 2 years at EWC, I've been blessed to experience such a close-knit community who has been nothing but support and encouragement for me. For both basketball and academics, there was never a day I walked past a staff member without them smiling or even asking how I am. Everyone experiences challenges and setbacks, but it's a part of the story. Just like most of you may know, I had some adversity, but it only made me stronger and realize even more and more how much this game means to me. It makes us tougher and more determined and reminds us why we're all here in the first place, whether it's new experiences, moving on to further education, or being a collegiate athlete. Just remember, if something was easy, everyone would do it. So lastly, I would like to thank the VP, Patrick Correll, for seeing my potential as the president. Thanks to my coaches, all the staff, shout out to Mrs. Krieger, my teammates, and fans, and my host family, the Dyer family, and of course, my biggest supporter, my mom. Thank you, EWC. I'll leave you with this. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. So no matter what comes next, keep pushing, keep growing, and keep believing. The best is still ahead, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Kyrie, and I think you can see why he was elected Student Senate President. Next, I would like to bring back to the auditorium our host, Sherry Warren, who is going to introduce our stage party.
So on behalf of Eastern Wyoming College, I'm going to introduce the stage party. Please stand when I call your name, and audience, please hold your applause until I have introduced the entire group. Honored guests, Mr. Charles Hoskinson, keynote speaker, Mr. Todd Peterson, president of the Eastern Wyoming College Foundation, Ms. Megan Getz, Wyoming Community College Commission member, and Mr. Wayne Deal, Wyoming Community College Commission member. Eastern Wyoming College Board of Trustees, Board Chair and Trustee Ms. Jackie Van Mark, Trustee Mr. Rick Vonberg, Vice Chair, Trustee Ms. Catherine Patrick, Treasurer, Trustee Mr. Bob Baumgartner, Trustee Mr. Doug Mercer, Trustee Mr. Kurt Sittner. Not attending today, Trustee Mr. Randy Adams, and Converse County Advisory Member, Mr. Jim Willix. Administration, Dr. Jeffrey Haas, President of EWC, Mr. John Hansen, Vice President of Student and Academic Services, Mr. Patrick Correll, Vice President of Administrative Services, Dr. Margaret Farley, Vice President of Douglas Campus, Dr. Debbie Ochsner, Executive Dean of Academic Services, and Mr. Darrell Spitzer, Dean of Workforce and Career and Technical Education. And once again, our Student Senate President, Kyrie Rashid. Our faculty, Dr. Colleen Mitchell, Veterinary Technology Program Director, Ms. Kelly Strampy, English Associate Professor, Department Head, Mr. Stan Nichols, Welding and Joining Technology Professor, Ms. Donna Sharon, Cosmetology Professor and Program Director. And will the rest of our esteemed faculty please stand? I want to thank you for sharing your knowledge and expertise with our students. We are confident that our graduates will carry that learning forward to improve their lives, support their families, and contribute meaningfully to our nation. I will now turn the podium over to Dr. Haas.
So next on our program will be our EWC Foundation President, Mr. Todd Peterson, who is going to conduct a special introduction for our commencement speaker today.
Good morning. Welcome, family, friends, graduates. Congratulations on your completion of your degrees. It's my pleasure today to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Charles Hoskinson. Mr. Hoskinson is co-founder of Ethereum and the CEO and founder of Input Output, the company behind the Cardano blockchain. He's testified in front of the U.S. Congress. He operates a bison ranch in Wheatland and owns a construction company and a state-of-the-art healthcare clinic focused on anti-aging in Gillette. Charles is part of the group that de-extincted the dire wolf. He is co-founder of a lab that is genetically engineering bioluminescent plants and even funded and joined a maritime expedition near Papua New Guinea that recovered extrasolar fragments from the ocean floor. He has shown me some videos of that before, and what I came away with is there's really big spiders down in New Guinea. In 2021, Charles founded the Hoskins Center for Formal Mathematics at Carnegie Mellon University in order to promote the use of formal computational methods and new technologies for mathematical research and education. He is a blockchain pioneer with 315,000 subscribers on YouTube and more than 1 million followers on X, where he shares his genuine thoughts on a huge range of subjects and interests. So Charles, one thing about it, I was interested in that anti-aging facility in Gillette, and I noticed on your website that it appears that you have a fondness for good cigars. Yes, sir. If that's part of the anti-aging program, I'm all in. That's good. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our very special guest, Mr. Charles Hoskinson.
Hi, everybody. All right. See, Dr. Nick Riviera. Some people are Simpsons fans. So it's good to be here in Wyoming. I live a little west of here. I'm out in Wheatland, but I split my time in Colorado and Wyoming. I have a farm just outside of Boulder, and it's mostly a petting zoo. I've got yaks on it and tiny animals. And the ranch up in Wheatland, we raise bison. And boy, it's a lot of fun. Bison are the ultimate entrepreneur's animal, because as long as you leave them alone, they leave you alone. And you don't do anything with them. They self-pasture, have fun. But I love Wyoming. You know, my dad grew up in Montana. He grew up in Big Timber, Montana, and grew up in Miles City. And he went to college at Montana State University. And his father also grew up in Montana, but hated the cold. And so when his father became a doctor, he said, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to move to Hawaii. So dragged my father along, and he ended up actually becoming a doctor as well and went to medical school there. And we've had 3 generations in the family now in medicine. My brother's also a doctor, about 70 years. So when I was growing up, I was homeschooled, and I was trying to figure out, like, what should I do in life? I liked mathematics, and I liked building things. I liked engineering, family businesses, medicine. I liked building stuff, liked animals. There really isn't a job description for these types of things. So I graduated early at 15, and I actually started at a community college. I started at Front Range Community College out in Westminster. And I graduated there at 18 and transferred to Metro and had some fun there. transferred to CU Boulder, had a lot of fun there. It's a great party school. We beat ASU. And I was lost because the problem was that I didn't really want to just do one thing. I wanted to do everything. And so I decided, there's only one thing I can do. Well, there's two things. I can be homeless and live under a bridge, which was a strong contender, or I can become an entrepreneur. So I decided to become an entrepreneur, and I asked a lot of my professors, I said, what should I do? And they said, well, Charles, if you don't know, teach. I said, all right, that's good advice. So I started the Bitcoin Education Project, and back then Bitcoin was under $1. No one cared about it. Everybody thought we were criminals. It took 5 more years for my mom not to think I was. And it wasn't the money or the success, by the way, that convinced her. It was when Larry King interviewed me. And I said, oh, there we go. And now I'm a real guy. He was a great guy. But I started that, and it started a journey where over a 15-year period, I went to 75 countries. I met heads of states and kings and all kinds of people. And I've done all right. Thousands of people have worked for me, and we've built products that now millions of people use. But every step of the way, I tried to ground myself and tried to remember that you have to keep a beginner's mindset about where you go and what you do. The world is changing very rapidly. If you think about the totality of human history, for the vast majority of it, people lived within a 25-mile radius of where they were born, and they did the same thing their parents did, and there was very little variation to pretty much every institution. All prayed to the same God, all spoke the same language, all had the same beliefs. And every now and then a famine or a war or disease come by and shake things up a bit, but that was humanity. And then suddenly the 19th century comes, and in a very short period of time, we had telegraph lines and railroads, and in a very short period of time, scientific revolution, industrial revolution, and people started traveling for the first time ever. It wasn't uncommon to meet somebody from a different country. It wasn't uncommon to meet somebody from a different continent. And it didn't slow down, it sped up. When we look to the 20th century, right at the very beginning, 1903, first plane took to the sky. Just 66 years later, astronauts were standing on the moon. Imagine that. Same person could have been alive and watched both events, and there's probably at least one person who did that. Now we look to the 21st century, and imagine how much has changed. I reflected on my own scholastic career. Cell phones, I had the Nokia brick. Anybody remember that? That was great, wasn't it? That was fun. And we didn't really have ubiquitous internet everywhere. We had to actually go to a computer that was plugged into the wall. Wi-Fi was just starting to come out. And over the course of just 20 years, now we have ChatGPT. Now we have cell phones everywhere. Now we have all this amazing capability. So it's easy to feel lost. And so when I thought about what advice can I give to people who are graduating, whether you have real jobs, like what you guys have graduated, or you're seeking real jobs, like people getting degrees, you have to think around, how do I stay competitive? You have to think around, where's the world going to go? How can I create value? So it used to be that you get really, really good at one thing. That was what the Industrial Revolution proposed to people. So you master a skill. So you're not a doctor, you're a surgeon. And you're not a surgeon, you're a foot surgeon. And you're not a foot surgeon, you're a foot surgeon who specializes in the pinky toe on Wednesday. And you make $800,000 a year. Specialization, that's what the Industrial Revolution told us. That's the key. Get more education, more titles, more letters next to your name. Well, how the heck does that work when you have these super intelligences that in 3 to 5 years know more than all of us combined in everything? So there's actually a great return to becoming a generalist. There's a great return to the value of meta skills. Where do you put all the information you learn? So what's your personal knowledge management system? How do you connect all that information? Are you good at taking notes? Oh, yeah, sure I am. Do you know what Zettelkasten is? See, there's always a lot to learn about how to learn, and there's a lot to learn about keeping up with things. And the most valuable people that I've worked with the 168 scientists we've worked with, the 240 papers we've published throughout all our labs, 10,000 citations, are people that are generalists who have the ability to be adaptable and cross domains and be interdisciplinary. And so I'd encourage you, whether you're on the technical side and you're vocational or you're getting degrees, to take a step back and ask yourself, how do I position myself that I'm always learning new things and create a joy and a love of learning new things. Everybody's profession, there's always something on the horizon. And, we have a construction company, our concrete division. Everybody in that division, they love World of Concrete. Why? Because when we go there in Vegas every year, it's fun to go to Vegas every year, but more importantly, there are probably 45,000, 50,000 people there, thousands of vendors. You have people from Saudi Arabia, you have people from China, you have people all around the world, and there's all this new technology and these new techniques. I sat in this lecture with this professor from Oklahoma teaching us about concrete fibers, and he loved them just a little too much. And he just could not wait to show us these pictures of this beautiful flat work that he'd done in an Amazon warehouse with no rebar, and it went on for over 100 feet, no cracks. It's like, what's the load on that concrete? So it's a warehouse. There's robots on it and big racks and things. There's just steel fibers. So, wow, that's incredible. And we got to sit for an hour and learn about that. And when you develop a love of learning, you don't just go away from the class and say, well, that was fun, what's next? It infects you. You take the moment to say, well, how do I know more? So the first thing we did is we got his contact information, and we're calling each other on the weekends, talking about steel fibers and concrete, finding vendors, asking, can we put it with rebar? What type of rebar? Fiberglass, steel, basalt? How do we test this type of stuff? How does it handle the cold? And that's the natural thought process, the questions. If you want to get good at something, you want to be valuable, you want to live a great life and have a great career, that's the mindset you have to cultivate. Always learning, always growing, always adapting, and be friendly with people. You wouldn't believe how many incredible people I've met throughout my life where I just sent them an email. And I said, hey, I'm so-and-so from place and place, and I'd just like to know something about this. And they'd say, oh, well, nice to meet you, sir. What can I do for you? And then we'd start a conversation. Everyone around you has a story, and they started probably in places like this. So the other key to success in this new world of AI and social media and all the weird stuff going on is to be very good at networking and to be very good at understanding people. The key to networking is have empathy. We don't have a lot of that these days. We get so grounded in our own thoughts, and we get so grounded in our own belief structures, and we forget that there's another person on the other side of the table. How many conversations have you had where when you talk to the person, you know they're just waiting for you to shut up so they can say something back? Are they listening? Are they really understanding you? And what if I told you that there's been a lot of times that you're that person? So networking, partnering, it begins at home, and it begins with empathy, and it begins with understanding people. And once you understand people, then you can learn why they believe what they believe. You can learn where their opinions come from. You can learn what they actually know, not what you think they know. And that's such a rare thing that no matter who you talk to, it'll actually build a great relationship with them. And then with those great relationships, together we can kind of navigate a very uncertain future. People often ask me, and I speak at many different places, whether it be MIT or European colleges. Like I did a presentation the other day in Scotland at University of Edinburgh. Love the whiskey there. Good place. Single malt whiskey society is good. And they say, where's the future going? You surely must know. You're a technology entrepreneur. You talk to all those big brain guys. So come on, tell us, 10 years' time, what's going to happen? What's going to be the big stuff? And I always answer it the same way. I have no idea. Because it's moving too quickly for anyone to know. And it's less about predicting where it's going to go. We can't do that anymore. It's more about who are we going to the future with? Who's in your camp? Which friends have you made? What skills have you acquired? And that's the final point. Challenge yourself. This was hard. What you have just achieved is hard. Many of you have families, kids, jobs, concerns. It's not easy to say, you know what, I'm going to put everything on hold. I'm going to go to a university, and I'm going to go get a degree. I'm going to go get a certificate. I'm going to go get a skill. I'm going to become a nurse. I'm going to become a welder. I'm going to get ready to go to a 4-year institution, go get ready to go get a PhD. Nobody here says, well, hey, we're only going to give you like half the test because you're a single mom. Now you get the same. It's one standard. So it's challenging, and I fully admit that, and I fully appreciate that. But this is just the beginning of the challenge, and the people who succeed are those who love the challenge and find ways to adapt and grow with them and add them and make them part of their character. So as you look to your career and your future and you get those first few interviews that say, why should I hire you? And we say, because I love challenges, and I love overcoming things. I love learning. I love growing, and I love doing hard things. And what you've proven here is you can do that. And what you have to prove over a lifetime is that you can keep doing that. So I like challenging myself too. And I said, I'm getting a bit sedentary. I'm going from one plane flight to one hotel room to one dinner to another. I'm starting to gain a little weight, a lot more than I'm used to. And I said, I should go down to the Amazon. They got this ritual down there. It's called the Tukandera. So I watched it on YouTube, and they say it's the most painful ritual in the world. You go out and find these giant ants. They live in the Amazon. They're giant, and they're called bullet ants. And you take them, you stun them, and then you sew them into gloves. Then you put your hands in the gloves once they wake up. It's the stupidest idea in the world. That sounds like fun. And of course, I have a security detail with a bunch of special forces guys on it, so they're like, that sounds like fun too. It's like, oh, God, you're supposed to talk me out of this. So we were committed, and we had to plan for an entire year because we're busy and didn't want to die or get eaten. And we figured that out. And so we just got back. A few weeks ago, I was actually down in the Amazon. It's 9 days there, and we went through that ritual. The worst part about it was that after you collect the ants and they give you lunch, which why would they do that? Because you're going to throw up, right? And then they let you just wait there for an hour, and you sit and think, and you're like, do I really want to do this? But we did. And there's this real cool video on YouTube you can see of us doing something very stupid. But then on the other side of it, there was this tremendous sense of satisfaction saying, you know what, we did it. We came up with a plan, a crazy plan. We really complicated. We had to put all these pieces together, and we broke some plates along the way, and we got it done. And that's the key to life. That's the key to making things work well. Just do that with yourself. It doesn't have to be a grand and big challenge. Jordan Peterson likes to say, make your bed. It could be something small. But every single day, every single month, every single year, to keep growing, you have to ask, what is next? So as you get your degrees, as you get your certificates, and you move on, you wake up tomorrow, and everybody says, congratulations. The very next thing you got to ask is, what's the next big challenge? And as long as you have a love of those things, no matter what happens, you're going to be all right. We can't predict the future. We can't predict where the technology is going to go, the geopolitics are going to go. It's pretty strange in D.C. right now, I can assure you. But that's okay. As long as you have the ability to adapt and grow and change, and a love of adapting and growing and change, and you keep up with things, everything's going to be fine. And as a final note to the parents, the family, and all the people around the students who have graduated, thank you so much for being supportive. They probably wouldn't have been here today without you. So let's give them some applause. I'm a product of my dad and mom, especially since they homeschooled me. And it's not lost on me if they didn't have as much patience as they did. Instead of being that entrepreneur who had a chance to do the bullet ants down in the Amazon and run around and do cool stuff, I'd have been the homeless guy under the bridge. Family means everything, and the people who take care of you mean everything. Always make sure to make the time for them. The biggest regret that I have over the last 15 years is how much I missed. I missed the death of all 4 of my grandparents. I missed birthdays and anniversaries. I missed so much. And I always told myself there'd be time tomorrow. There'd be time next week. When I come back, I'll be at the Christmas. And then there was always something that came up. And being young, I said, it's okay. They'll always be around. They'll always be here. And the reality is they won't. So as a final word of wisdom, make sure you value the things that truly value, the people that got you here, and make sure you take the time to spend time with them. So congratulations. And I'd also like to thank the Eastern Wyoming College Foundation for inviting me to speak, and the the staff and professors. It seems like you've made some wonderful students here, and I think they have wonderful careers ahead of them. I hope that I have a chance to speak again. Cheers.
Thank you, Mr. Hoskinson, for your encouragement and sage advice. We are now ready for the formal conferring of degrees and certificates for EWC students. Mr. John Hansen, EWC Vice President of Student and Academic Services, will present the graduates.
Will all of the candidates who are to receive degrees and certificates please rise and remain standing? Dr. Haas, it is my pleasure to present to you the graduating class of 2025. On behalf of the faculty, I certify to you that those candidates who have completed all of their academic requirements are entitled to receive certificates of achievement or degrees for the Associate of Applied Science, Associate of Arts, Associate Degree in Nursing, or Associate of Science.
By the authority vested in me by the Eastern Wyoming College Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree so noted, with all the rights and privileges thereof, and I offer you my sincerest congratulations.
As we recognize our graduates, many of these students will graduate with honors. Please note in your program that a student who graduates with high distinction has earned a cumulative grade point average of 3.75 or higher on a 4-point scale. A student who graduates with distinction has earned a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 or above on a 4-point scale. Helping with announcing the names of the graduates is Dr. Colleen Mitchell, DVM, and Ms. Kelly Strampy, Associate Professor for English and Department Head for Arts, Humanities, Social, and Behavioral Sciences.
Kirsten J. Tucker, Associate of Applied Science, Cosmetology. JC M. Shields, Associate of Applied Science, Cosmetology, Distinction. Kaylee J. Pittman, Associate of Applied Science, Cosmetology. Riley Marie Ortega, Associate of Applied Science, Cosmetology. Carly R. Yunke, Associate of Applied Science, Cosmetology, Distinction. Madeline J. Leach, Associate of Applied Science, Cosmetology, Distinction. Allie L. Conroy, Associate of Applied Science, Cosmetology, Distinction, Phi Theta Kappa. Shaylee A. White, Associate of Applied Science, Cosmetology. Isabella R. Scarborough, Associate of Applied Science, Cosmetology. Anna Marie E. Emilio, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology. Frank D. Crimmins II, Associate of Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, Certificate Machine Tool Technology, High Distinction Phi Theta Kappa. Hagan L. Campbell, Associate of Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, distinction Phi Theta Kappa. Abraham J. Scott, Associate of Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, certificate Machine Tool Technology, distinction Phi Theta Kappa. Riley S. Arnold, Associate of Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, high distinction Phi Theta Kappa. Hadley B. Fleming, Associate of Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, certificate Machine Tool Technology, distinction Phi Theta Kappa. Braxton M. Green, Associate of Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, certificate Machine Tool Technology, distinction Phi Theta Kappa. Wyatt L. Hajni, Associate of Applied Science, Farm and Ranch Management. Dayton T. Tillman, Associate of Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, certificate Machine Tool Technology, high distinction Phi Theta Kappa. Donald W. Corson, Associate of Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, distinction Phi Theta Kappa. Cameron B. Cox, Associate of Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, certificate Machine Tool Technology.
Heidi L. Arndt, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology, high distinction. Amber M. Marcus, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology. Emily Nelson, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology, Phi Theta Kappa. Marla L. Sproul, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology. Hannah K. Lee, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology. Beth L. Brazelton, Associate of Applied Science, Agricultural Business and Sciences, Veterinary Technology, certificate, veterinary aid, high distinction. Jordan N. Dearcon, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology. Allison J. Wood, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology, high distinction. Sheridan L. Deering, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology, high distinction. Nikki A. Todd, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology, Phi Theta Kappa. Emily O'Neill, Associate of Applied Science, Veterinary Technology. Vincent Lopez, Certificate, Barber Stylist Technician, high distinction, Phi Theta Kappa. Thank you for your service. Chase R. Patrick, Certificate, Barber Stylist Technician, high distinction. Jonathan Joseph Fisher, Certificate, Barber Stylist Technician. Ashley N. Miller, Certificate, Barber Stylist Technician. Delilah C. Arnello, Certificate, Barber Stylist Technician, High Distinction, Phi Theta Kappa. Valerie Mae Birch, Certificate, Veterinary Aid, Distinction, Phi Theta Kappa. Kaylee Gill, Beef Production Certificate. Cannon L. Cook, Certificate, Precision Egg. Emmett J. Dawson, Associate Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, Certificate, Machine Tool Technology, High Distinction. Alexandria K. Tonston, Associate Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, Certificate, Machine Tool Technology. Delaney R. Eagle Elk, Associate Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology, Certificate, Welding and Joining Technology, Machine Tool Technology. Carly J. Bales, Associate of Applied Science, Farm and Ranch Management, Certificate, Beef Production. Alexandra McGuire, Associate of Arts, Interdisciplinary Studies, Distinction. Joshua J. Kruger, Associate of Applied Science, Business Administration, High Distinction. Preston J. Anderson, Associate of Applied Science, Farm and Ranch Management. Matthew J. Moline, Associate of Applied Science, Farm and Ranch Management. Alyssa Cardenas, Certificate, Nail Technician. J.C. Rail Paulus, Certificate, Nail Technician, High Distinction, Phi Theta Kappa. Taiki Suwagi, Associate of Science, Interdisciplinary Studies, High Distinction, Phi Theta Kappa. Colton A. Powell, Associate of Arts, Interdisciplinary Studies. Joshua John Chapman, Associate of Arts, Interdisciplinary Studies.
Titan J. Burchell, Associate of Arts, Interdisciplinary Studies, Distinction. Jax B. Oviat, Associate of Arts, Interdisciplinary Studies. Jordan D. Hunt, Associate of Science, Pre-Health Science. Colton L. Zimmerman, Associate of Applied Science, Welding and Joining Technology. Fiona Kirks, Business Administration, Associate of Applied Science. David Israel Hadaway, Associate of Applied Science, Gunsmithing, High Distinction, Phi Theta Kappa. Victor Anthony Abram, Associate of Applied Science, Gunsmithing. Nathaniel McGowan Jr., Welding Certificate. Delaney G. McGowan, Certificate, Beef Production, High Distinction. Mary A. Collins, Associate of Applied Science, Farm and Ranch Management, Phi Theta Kappa. Nicole I. Cunningham, Certificate, Medical Assistant. Brandon N. Shakett, Associate of Applied Science, Gunsmithing. Brian Ladine Harper, Jr., Associate of Applied Science, Gunsmithing.
Graduates, please stand. Congratulations on your achievements in the class of 2025. You may move your tassels from right to left. Yeah, round of applause. All right, now please be seated.
Congratulations to our graduates. You did it. We're all proud of you. Distinguished guests, board members, family, friends, and faculty, thank you for your participation in this commencement activity. It has been a privilege and an honor to send these graduates on to their next chapter in their lives. And it has been an honor for me today to be your master of the ceremonies. Indeed, it has been a privilege to be a part of the faculty and administration at this community college, which means so much, not only to me, but to our communities. Through our 16,500 square mile service area. These students are prepared to continue on their educational and lifelong journeys and will meet those challenges successfully. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration at Eastern Wyoming College, we are proud to have been a part of their lives. We ask that the audience please wait until all graduates, faculty, and administrators have exited the auditorium before leaving their seats. Thank you to the EWC employees and students who helped make this graduation a success. Would the graduates please stand?